Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chinom. So this is another episode of my Nigerian in America series, and today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to live with strangers. For those who don't know, it's common practice here. I'm in the US, by the way. It's common practice here to get a house with housemates that you don't know from anywhere, like complete strangers. So I'm just going to be talking about what my experience has been like, and things like, is it safe, is it not safe, and how we go about the whole process. So yeah. Before I continue, guys, please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and drop your comments, guys. Whatever you want to say, even if you're just saying hi, please drop your comments in the comment section. So for some of us, we're still working our way up. Of course, we would like to have our own apartment and just live by ourselves, have my peace and quiet whenever I need it. Obviously, that's the ideal world, but for many of us still here, we're still trying to build, trying to save a little here and there. So getting your own place is not exactly financially advisable for some of us that are still setting up our lives. So what do? We rent an apartment with other people. It can be one person, two people, three people. One of my apartments, we were 5 in total. So right now everything is online. Obviously you can still sort of walk into apartment complexes that have an office or whatever and talk to someone physically and all that, but the whole process is online, to be honest. And there are different sites where you can go check for what you want. Examples of the sites: apartments.com, apartments finder, there's Zillow, a couple of other websites that are specifically for finding apartments, and then there's Craigslist. Everybody knows about Craigslist. If you don't know what Craigslist is, I will explain. And then, funny enough, I don't know about other areas, but in Boston in particular, there's actually a Facebook page for people looking to rent with housemates and all that. So there's a Facebook page, a couple of other different places depending on what you want. So I'll start with the websites that are specifically for renting apartments, okay, like apartment.com, Zillow, and the rest. Those ones obviously have been set up specially just for apartment hunting. So basically you go on there, you check what you want, the area you want, whatever, and then you get the contact of the agent or the company or whatever in charge of that building, in charge of that apartment. You talk to them, you get in contact with them directly, you talk to them, you set up maybe a viewing, and from there, if you want it, they'll figure out what they need, they'll do your background check, credit check, all that. So it's more streamlined. But the thing is, as convenient as those sites are, they're also expensive, because obviously if they're making things easy for you, they're going to charge agent fee, service fee, whatever fees. There are fees that you obviously be charged. So at the end of the day, you're going to end up spending more. So if you have more money to spend, feel free to use those ones. If you want to pay agent fee and all that, feel free to use those ones. But one good thing I know about them is, I'm not very sure, but I think, just based on how it works, I think they are safer, because the company or the agent, whatever, they will do background check, credit check for everyone that before they rent out. So even if you're joining people in an apartment, people that you don't know, you can sort of rest assured that the company, the agent, whatever, has done the background check and everything. So you're not coming to live with some criminal, okay? So they've done that check and everything. So I think it's safer to go with those ones. But they're spending more money, so of course they should provide services that make it safe for everybody. And then coming to Craigslist. For those who don't know what Craigslist is, it's basically an advertising website. So anything you're looking for in this world, you will find it on Craigslist. From jobs, people post job openings on Craigslist. You will find jobs there. You will find, if you want to buy anything for your house, for your office, for anywhere, car, electronics, anything, you find it on Craigslist. Used, new, everything is there. So of course, if you want to rent an apartment, it's also on Craigslist. Now, number one con of using Craigslist is that there are a lot of scammers, because literally anybody can just open an account and post whatever they want to post. So if you're gonna use Craigslist, you have to be smart. You have to use your brain. Like, you just have to use your brain. You have to be able to identify who's a scam and who's not a scam, because a lot of people have gotten scammed and it's not even funny. So you just have to be careful. One big difference between those like proper sites that I mentioned before versus Craigslist is that on Craigslist, yeah, some agents post their openings on Craigslist, but it's mostly landlords, actual landlords that own a property that they're renting out. Landlords themselves will post the openings there. So as soon as you make contact, you have like direct contact to the actual owner of that property, or to people that are already living in apartments and then they have an empty room and they're looking for someone to occupy that room. Those are the kinds of posts that you see on Craigslist, the landlords posting, or people looking for an extra housemate or whatever. Okay, so as I said, you have to be smart to understand which one is a scam and which one is not a scam. I'm going to tell you guys how to, recognize scams. And then the last one I talked about is Facebook, the Facebook page. This is just for Boston. I don't know if other areas do it or whatever, but I'm just talking about Boston based on my own experience, because when I was looking for an apartment, I went on that page. So the Facebook page is basically like Craigslist. The only difference is it's Facebook, so the person has to have an actual Facebook account. The good thing with that is in most cases you can go to their profile and see, if it's a real person. Just go through their profile, make sure they're not a serial killer. But yeah, you can check all that. Obviously, people can open fake Facebook page accounts. I know that, but it's less frequent than on Craigslist. And there's also someone, I don't know who it is, but I assume there's someone managing that page who sort of keeps an eye out for any shady looking deals or whatever, and they'll just take it off and block you. It's mostly just housemates already living in an apartment looking for an extra person or two, and then you that is looking, you can also post on that page and be like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Maybe you're looking for a master bedroom that has its own bathroom separate or whatever your needs, you can post it there. And if someone has an opening that matches what you want, then they get in contact with you and you guys sort it out and everything. So yeah, basically that's how we find apartments for those of us that are trying to save a buck or two. That's basically how we go about it. So now I'm going to talk about the red flags that you have to keep an eye out for when you're looking for apartments to rent in this place, because people be out here scamming others. Yo, it's real. Okay, number one red flag: if they start asking for payment when you have not even seen the place with your two eyes, run. I said what? Run. Don't look back. Okay, anybody that is asking you to make any kind of payment before you've seen the place, before you've met them in person and seen the place, it's a scam. They just want to collect your money. Number two, if they're asking some funny personal questions, I mean, it's okay if they ask, okay, so what do you do? Are you working? Are you going to school? That kind of question makes sense, because in most cases, when it's people who already live in an apartment that are looking for an extra person, what happens is they're trying to look for someone whose schedule and lifestyle fits theirs, so that you don't move in and then you guys are clashing. So it makes sense if they're asking you, are you in school? Do you work? Do you keep late hours? surface questions like that. But if they start asking you things like, so what's your house address, your current house address, just know that there's something fishy. They're trying to steal your identity, okay? The ones that will tell you you cannot see the place until you make payments. It's like the first thing I said, making payments without seeing the place. But this one is like they'll tell you straight up, or they'll give some silly excuse about them not being around, them not being able to show the place. Just leave them and be going. It's a scam, okay? They don't have access to that place. They never will. They're trying to scam you. So just face your front and be going. And then the last point is, if there's no lease, there's no lease for you to sign, no paperwork, nothing. Think about it, okay? Think about it properly. This point is sort of, it depends, because I know people who have kind of, have successfully rented places where they didn't really sign a lease. It was just on a month-to-month basis, and when they were ready to leave, they said they were ready to leave a month before, and it all worked out. But you have to be smart and gauge. If it's not someone you know, someone you trust, and there's no lease, no document, no official document for you to sign, and then they just tell you, just be giving me money, no paperwork, or it's shady. I would say just avoid that if you can, unless it's someone you know that's renting to you and you trust them. But even then, like, there should be some sort of paperwork for you to sign, for them to sign, just so it's official, and nobody will walk into your house one day and be like, you're not supposed to be here. So yeah, those are the red flags that everybody should look out for if you're renting an apartment here. I think it works better here in the US because to a good extent you can do background check on the people, sort of like, thank God for the internet. Everybody has like some sort of online presence. I think some people don't really, but most people do. So you can sort of, like, if they say they go to this school, that's how you check and you make sure that they actually go to that school. They say they work here, there's a way to check, call the place, just figure it out and just make sure that what they say they are is what they are, and they're not some drug dealer. Of course, people will still have secrets that you don't know about, but on a general scale, like, it's easier to vet people here in the US because there are records, there are things to check, there are places to go, there are questions to ask, and you'll get answers. But in somewhere like Nigeria, I always thought that this just cannot work in a place like Nigeria because, first of all, that's not how we live, okay? If I'm not living with my parents, my family of some sort, then I'm living with my friends or I'm living by myself. Like, I will not go and live with a stranger in Nigeria. It's not possible. If we want to check on a person, to check their background, where will you start from? There's no record of, like... But I was talking to one of my friends recently, and then she mentioned that it was actually a thing right now in Lagos, especially, where there are shared apartments. You share apartments with people you don't know. So I went and did my own small research, and I realized it's true. There are websites where you can rent shared apartments with people that you don't really know. But then I realized most of the people that I've heard use it are either people that have lived in the diaspora and come back home to Nigeria, people that schooled abroad, came back home. So they've been exposed to this lifestyle of, just living with people that you don't know. Like, it's fine, So I guess it makes sense that it is mostly them that are using those services and doing that at home. I don't know about any, like, proper Nigerian that would be comfortable with just renting an apartment with strangers. But again, thank God for the internet, because you can, sort of look around and check and just figure one or two things about them. But then the general summary is that regardless of where you are, regardless of how much background check you think you can do, at the end of the day, if you think about this thing, it is quite risky to just pack all your things and come and stay in the same house with somebody you don't know from anywhere and just trust that they will not just slice your throat in the middle of the night or something, or trust that they are not hiding skeletons in the house. Moving on, I'm going to talk about just briefly my own experience with roommates. So when I graduated from college, I stayed with a couple of friends. I bounced around for a while. I've told this story, I think, on this channel. I bounced around for a while with different friends because I didn't have a job yet, so I didn't want to be paying house rent when I didn't have steady income. So I bounced around for a bit with some of my friends, and they all had housemates, so it was like I had to I couldn't stay too long in one place so that their housemates will not start wondering, why are you housing somebody for free in our house and they're using all this water and everything with us and they're not paying any money. So I was just, I tried to be strategic, and I moved around for a bit. Then the first place that I got by myself, we were 5. So it was a 5-room apartment downstairs, 3 rooms downstairs, 2 rooms upstairs. Guys, that place was like, everybody was just doing their own thing, right? Everybody was on their own. We were 3 Nigerians, 1 American, and 1 Haitian. 3 guys and 2 girls. That's another thing. It does not matter boy, girl, in between, whatever you identify as, you live with anybody. Nobody cares. Everybody was just doing their own thing, and that place was not bad though. It was alright. The reason I left was, it was just a complicated reason why I left, but it didn't have anything to do with me having roommate troubles. I haven't had any crazy roommates, actually. I've just had annoying ones. But another thing we need to talk about, in most of these apartments, you have to share a bathroom. Obviously, it's not like that in all of them. In the more fancy, bougie ones, obviously, you get your own bathroom, but you're paying more money, and the whole point is that we're trying to save dollars, okay? So yeah, you share bathrooms, normal thing. In that apartment that were 5, 3 of us use one, the other 2 use one. I was downstairs with the guys, so let's just say that I was the only one who used to clean the bathroom, and I really didn't mind because I would have done it anyway. Is what I do. I like to clean up my spaces, so I would rather even do it than tell someone else to do it, because I feel like they never do it how I want them to do it, and it's frustrating because like when I can just do it, I'll do it. So I used to do that. They weren't dirty or anything, but it's just like some things are pretty obvious, like you use the sink, you shave in this, they'll shave their beards in the sink, there'll not be beard hair in the sink, rinse it off or clean it or something. At some point I had to write this very elaborate note and put it on the mirror, so as you're standing and you're doing the nonsense you're doing, you are seeing that note, and God will judge you if you don't clean that sink as you're leaving because you saw my notes. Anyway, so yeah, I did that. It wasn't bad. They were all very nice people. And then when I left that apartment, the next place that I went to, we were 3, all girls. Again, everybody was off doing their own thing. I didn't even used to see anybody at that time because I was working 2 jobs, and just my life was upside down, completely upside down at that point in time. So I didn't really used to see anybody, but they were nice. It was the same deal. I did most of the cleaning of like common spaces, but that's just because it's what I do. It's just how I am. I'll do it anyways. Like even if someone else was cleaning, I would still clean. You get. And then after that, then I moved here to where I am right now. Right now we are 3. We're supposed to be 4 because there's an extra room. We've been trying to get someone for it, but that hasn't happened yet. So we're 3 now. I love my housemates right now. They're actually really cool. One of them though is quite young, so there have been a couple of issues just with, you see how I reduce my voice because her room is right next to mine. But anyway, so she's quite young, so there have been a lot of issues with, in terms of just like basic house things that you think she should know but doesn't. So yeah, you just help her get through it, I guess. Sometimes I want to break her head, that's the truth, because I'm like, yo, I'm too young to have a child, but I kind of do. I'm just very lucky in terms of people that I meet, people that come into my life. Most of them, or some of them are still bastards. Yeah, I'm just thankful for my own roommate situation. Living with strangers has been quite good for me. I've definitely heard some roommates horror stories, you know, people that were dealing with some sort of mental illness, trying to figure out how to help this person that you don't know. And it can be difficult to deal with something like that. And then there are some roommates that just have no idea of what personal hygiene means. I'm just thankful. Mine have been all good. Well, not all good, but it has not even been bad. Like, I really can't complain. Nothing too serious has happened. It's just small things. Like, it's just God that has been saving somebody. That's the truth. Because if not for God, I don't know what would have happened. We're just living this life. We're living with strangers, people we don't know from anywhere, trusting them with our lives. Basically, it's all just vibes. And pray to God and ask God to guide you. So yeah, I've just been lucky, but I know a lot of people who haven't, and I think it's very interesting that it's normal. It's a normal thing to just get a house and with some strangers that I don't know from anywhere and be like, oh, housemates, we live together. Pray they don't slit my throat as I sleep. So that's all I have for this video. So this is the end. I'm really enjoying this Nigerian American series because I feel like I've been looking for a ways to just talk about some of my experiences here and how it's been for me and how it's still going and how much of a struggle it has been, how much of a struggle it still is, you know, all those things. So small by small, I'll be letting out all that pent up frustration and just letting you guys know how it is. Not like I'm trying to form or anything. There's no forming, okay? This is all real life. All right. Anyway, guys, let me know what your own experiences have been or what you've heard of in terms of this whole roommates wahala. If you're in Nigeria, tell me whether you'll be comfortable with living with strangers, people that you don't know from anywhere. And if you're doing it already, let me know what your own experience has been like, because I'm curious. If you've had any horror stories with housemates, please let me know in the comment section. Yeah, if you still haven't subscribed up until this point, I don't know what you're waiting for, because obviously you stayed till the end. You love me and I love you too, so please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.